If you're over 40 and skipping one specific movement, your strength loss has already started, and most people don't notice it until daily life becomes harder. This isn't about fitness. It's about whether you stay independent. It starts small. Standing from a chair feels heavier. Your knees complain on stairs. Sitting down requires planning instead of just happening. You think it's just age. That's the mistake most people make. Because here's what's really happening. Your body is losing the exact movement patterns that protect your joints and keep you strong enough to do normal things without thinking about them. Most people stay active. They walk every day. They stretch. They keep themselves busy. But they still lose strength. Because walking doesn't teach your hips to stabilize. Stretching doesn't rebuild the power you need to stand up without using your hands. And staying busy doesn't mean you're using the ranges of motion that keep your body capable. Your body is built to move in specific ways. When you stop using those patterns, your muscles forget how to fire correctly. Your joints lose their protection, and your balance systems start to fail. Not because you're old, because you stopped asking your body to do what it was designed to do. Research shows that just 3 specific movement patterns can preserve strength, joint health, and mobility for decades, even as you age. These aren't complicated. They don't require a gym. And they work because they train the exact systems your body uses to stay stable, strong, and mobile in everyday life. The first movement trains the stabilizers that prevent falls and hip injuries, the kind that end independence. The second protects your knees and keeps stairs from feeling dangerous. But the third one, it's the most overlooked, and skipping it is why so many people feel stiff and unstable as they age. Most people never use it. And when you lose it, your body removes that ability permanently. Let me show you all 3. Exercise 1, horse stance. The first movement is called the horse stance. And if you've never heard of it, that's exactly the problem. This movement trains the stabilizers in your hips and inner thighs, the muscles that keep you from falling when you step off a curb, turn quickly, or catch yourself from stumbling. These are the muscles that decide whether a slip becomes a fall, and whether a fall becomes a broken hip. Most people never train these stabilizers, because most exercise happens moving forward and backward, walking, climbing stairs, getting up and down. But life doesn't just happen in straight lines. You turn, you pivot, you step sideways to avoid something. And when your lateral stabilizers are weak, that's when you lose your balance. That's when falls happen. The horse stance fixes this, because it forces those stabilizers to engage and hold your body steady in a position most people haven't used in years. Here's how to do it. Stand with your feet wider than shoulder width apart. Your toes should point slightly outward, not straight ahead. Now bend your knees and lower your hips like you're sitting back into a chair. But keep your chest up and your weight balanced evenly between both feet. You should feel tension in your inner thighs and glutes. That's the stabilizers working. If you can't go low, don't. Start high. Even a small bend activates these muscles. Hold this position for 10 to 15 seconds. Breathe normally. Don't hold your breath. Your legs will shake. That's normal. That's your body rebuilding strength it hasn't used in a while. When you're done, stand up slowly and rest for 30 seconds. Do this 3 times. Now here's the mistake most people make. They try to go too low too fast. They force their knees inward, or they lean forward and lose their balance. Don't do that. Keep your knees tracking over your toes. Keep your chest lifted. And only go as low as you can while staying stable. As you get stronger, you can lower your hips more. You can hold the position longer. And eventually, you'll feel stable in positions that used to feel impossible. That stability translates directly into real life. When you step off a curb and your foot lands unevenly, your hips stabilize you automatically. When you turn to grab something and your weight shifts, you don't wobble. You don't grab onto things for balance. You just stay steady. That's what strong stabilizers do. They keep you independent. They keep you confident in your own body. And they prevent the kind of falls that change everything. This first movement builds a foundation, but it's not enough on its own, because your stabilizers can keep you from falling, but they can't get you up and down from chairs. They can't protect your knees when you climb stairs. That's what the second movement does. Exercise 2, wall sits. The second movement is the wall sit. And this is the one that decides whether stairs feel normal or dangerous. Because here's the truth. Your knees don't fail because they're old. They fail because the muscles and tendons around them get weak. And when those structures can't support your body weight, every step down a staircase puts stress directly onto the joint. That's when knees start to hurt. That's when you start avoiding stairs. That's when you start planning your day around what you can and can't do. The wall sit rebuilds the exact strength your knees need to stay protected. It trains your quadriceps, the muscles on front of your thighs. But more importantly, it strengthens the tendons that connect those muscles to your kneecap. Strong tendons absorb force. Weak tendons transfer that force directly into the joint. And when your tendons are strong, stairs stop being something you dread. Here's how to do it. Find a wall, stand with your back against it, and your feet about 1 to 2 feet away from the wall. Now slide your back down the wall until your knees are bent. You don't have to go all the way to 90 degrees. Start wherever feels manageable. Even a shallow bend works. Even a 45-degree angle activates the muscles you need. Your back stays flat against the wall. Your feet stay flat on the floor. And your knees should be directly above your ankles, not pushed forward past your toes. Hold this position for 15 to 20 seconds. Breathe. Your thighs will burn. That burn is your muscles working. That's how they get stronger. When the time is up, slide back up the wall slowly. Rest for 30 seconds. Do this 3 times. Now here's what most people get wrong. They let their knees cave inward, or they hold their breath and tense their whole body. Don't do that. Keep your knees aligned with your toes. Breathe steadily. And if 15 seconds feels too long, do 10, or even 5. The goal isn't to suffer. The goal is to rebuild strength gradually. As you get stronger, you can lower yourself deeper. You can hold the position longer. And eventually, you'll be able to sit at a full 90-degree angle for 30 seconds or more. That strength changes everything. When you walk downstairs, your knees feel stable. When you sit down into a chair, you control the movement instead of dropping into it. When you stand up, you don't need to push off with your hands. You just stand, because your legs are strong enough to support your body weight without help. That's what the wall sit does. It protects your knees. It keeps you mobile. And it keeps you from becoming dependent on furniture, railings, or other people just to move through your day. But here's the thing. The horse stance protects your hips and keeps you from falling. The wall sit protects your knees and keeps you strong enough to move up and down. But neither of them addresses the one thing that most people lose without even realizing it. The ability to move through a full range of motion. And that's what the third movement restores. Exercise 3, deep squat. The third movement is the deep squat, and this is the one most people have completely lost, not because they can't do it, but because they stop doing it. And when you stop using a movement, your body assumes you don't need it anymore, so it takes it away. For thousands of years, humans squatted to rest, to eat, to work. It was as natural as breathing. Children still do it. Watch a toddler pick something up off the ground. They drop into a perfect deep squat without thinking. But somewhere between childhood and adulthood, most people lose that ability because we sit in chairs, we sit in cars, we sit at desks, and our bodies adapt to the positions we use most often. When you stop squatting, your hips tighten, your ankles lose mobility, and your spine loses the ability to stay safe when you bend down. That's when picking things up off the floor becomes risky. That's when you start bending from your lower back instead of your hips. That's when injuries happen. The deep squat restores what you've lost. If you don't use this range of motion, your body removes it permanently. Here's how to get it back. Stand in front of something solid you can hold on to. A countertop, a sturdy chair, a door frame. Hold on with both hands. Now slowly lower yourself down into a squat. Let your knees bend. Let your hips sink back and down. Keep your heels on the ground if you can. If your heels come up, that's fine. That just means your ankles are tight. Go as low as you can while holding on for support, even if that's only halfway down. The goal is to remind your body that this position exists. Hold the bottom position for 10 to 15 seconds. Breathe. Let your hips relax. Then use your hands to help pull yourself back up. Do this 3 times. Here's the mistake. People try to squat without support and lose their balance. Or they force their knees forward and put all the pressure on their joints. Don't do that. Hold on to something. Let your hips do the work. Keep your chest up so your spine stays protected. As you practice this, your hips will open up, your ankles will get more mobile, and eventually, you won't need to hold on to anything. You'll be able to drop into a deep squat, rest there comfortably, and stand back up without help. That ability changes everything. When you drop something on the floor, you can squat down to pick up safely. Your spine stays neutral. Your hips do the work. You don't risk throwing out your back. When you garden, when you play with grandchildren, when you simply exist in your own body, you have options. You're not limited by stiffness. You're not restricted by fear of getting stuck down there. You're mobile. You're capable. You're free. But here's what most people don't realize. These 3 movements aren't separate exercises. They're not a list of things to check off. They're a system. The horse stance protects your hips and prevents falls. The wall sit protects your knees and keeps you strong enough to move up and down. The deep squat restores mobility and protects your spine. 3 movements, 1 system. Stability, strength, mobility. Skip one, the system breaks. Because your body doesn't work in pieces. It works as a whole. And when one part gets weak, everything else compensates. That's when injuries happen. That's when independence starts to slip away. But when all 3 are strong, your body stays capable. You don't need help getting up. You don't avoid stairs. You don't plan your day around what your body can't do anymore. You just live. That's what these 3 movements protect. Not just your muscles, not just your joints, your independence. If you're ready to start rebuilding that strength today, comment, "I'm starting today," below and commit to your independence. Let me know you're serious about staying strong. And if you want to go even deeper, the next video covers something most people never think about. The most overlooked balance drill doctors use to predict fall risk. It takes 30 seconds. And it reveals more about your stability than anything else. I'll show you exactly how to do it and what your results mean. You've earned this knowledge. Don't stop now.